Hey, everybody, Justice Warriors, how are you guys? Happy Sunday. I love that comment, Mark Molina. Not winging it, LOL. Oh, I'm always winging it. But yeah, I decided I needed to get my Cliff Notes done from Friday before I did this live, or it was never going to happen, which is fine, right? I mean, you just go with the flow. So thanks so much for being here, you guys. Good afternoon. It is 3:01 or 2:01 if you haven't remembered to push your clock an hour forward, right? Oh man, daylight savings is ridiculous. That's my opinion. It's funny because I live in Ohio. We're next to Indiana, and I'm not sure if it's the whole state of Indiana or part of the state of Indiana that doesn't do daylight savings time. So half of the year they are on the exact same, Eastern Standard Time as Ohio, and then the other half of the year they're an hour different, and it messes with you. I mean, this daylight savings messes with me every freaking time. I always have to think spring forward, fall back, and then I still can't figure it out. But, it's just good when you remember to change your clocks, right? Oh, goodness. So, what is everybody doing this weekend? The YouTube is coming unhinged. Unhinged, or is it just me? 700 pages of unsealed warrants. Give me a break. You guys, we are completely getting punked. We are getting played like a freaking piano, I think. I think we've got fake channels, fake content creators, fake letters of termination, fake warrants, fake comments. I know you guys are not fakes, my good people here, because if I sniff you out, then I block you, right? Man. Hey, Kale. So let me just say hello to everybody. Sherry V. Ross. I'm just going to say Sherry I because you know me and names. And V. Ruse because I said Ross and I'll just say VR. Mark Molina, that's an easy one, I think. Dana, aka Squirrely Burger, Kale DePena, and Larissa Slaughter, girl. How are you? Oh, it's so nice. Oh, Mark Molina's a fake. I knew that. But that's okay. You're a good fake. I like you. And Michael McAllister, another good fake, right? Hello, everyone. And Skirl Girl. Did you see Lana's interview with Einen? No, I did not. I don't know that I can handle it. You guys, I am just really kind of like at my limit, like full of the BS. Like, I don't want to be paying attention to stuff that's bogus, that's not real. CNY did an interview with SF Investigates, and then Squirrels on Fire broke it down, and Larissa was there, and I was in the chat. Larissa was on the panel, and like, why is he coming out? I guess the theory is that the Hamburglar cut him off financially, so now he's like ratting on his source so that he can get more moolah. I don't know. 24 watching and 16 likes. You know what? That's really cool that we have so many watching on a Sunday afternoon, because it's not normal for me to be doing a Sunday afternoon. So thank you, everybody who's here. Let me look at my notes. Man, I just like put my nose on the grindstone this morning. I had reviewed my video from Friday once or twice, but I didn't do it while taking notes. That's how I do my Cliff Notes. I take notes from the video, and then I just read those notes basically for the Cliff Notes. And so I finally got that done today, because you know how I say weekends are busy, and this was a very busy weekend. So I wasn't even sure any of it was going to happen. So I'm really glad that it did. I'm really glad I got that up right before I came on live. So you can see that whenever you're ready. There's a 15-minute Cliff Notes from Friday's hour-long live. Not quite an hour, somewhere around there, right? Anyway, who remembers SF Investigates from the Gabby Petito case? I don't remember him, but I hear that he was there. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anybody remember him in the Gabby Petito case? Like, I'm just SF wants attention, and I think he was only there for the money, and that's why he hates AWP. Totally, totally. I mean, he's got to be a photographer for these like OnlyFans types of models, right? So, I mean, that's probably his bread and butter right there. And then if he can get a nice reward cash cow, then that really helps him out quite a bit. I mean, that guy is just trash. I have trouble even calling him a guy. He is just absolute garbage, in my humble opinion. And yeah, he's a freaking train wreck, is he not? I mean, he was bad enough before, but he's been like careening out of control downhill ever since this whole thing. Like, I remember when he was on the panel with Zav Girl, and it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, and Upchurch was pressuring him and saying like, that's weird, what? And then all of a sudden SF is like, oh, I gotta go, and he hops off the panel, and then he gets on his Twitter and he starts trashing Tiffany. That's Zav's real name. She's open about that. He starts trashing her. She was so nice to him. She was so polite to him and gave him a platform to get his word out on, and he just went sideways on her like the second he hopped off. And what a jerk. Like, who the heck does that? Yeah, he's an attention-seeking whore, in my humble opinion. I mean, he is just a drama queen. Absolutely. Not me. I never heard that. Okay, Larissa, you never heard about SF being at the scene with the Petito situation. I think it was in Florida when it was like the Brian Laundrie's missing type of situation. I don't know. Maybe in the aftermath or something is what I think I've heard. Kale says, yes, I remember SF in Gab's case. And what do you remember, Kale? If you can share. I was all over the Gabby Petito and did see SF anywhere. So you said did see, but you must have meant did not see. That was the first time I remember hearing about him. He was horrible. She never got gas. She got gas. He's a liar. I mean, that's why he's hemming and hawing constantly, is because he's not sure which lie to tell and how to tell it. And he's trying to compare notes in his head to what all the lies he's already said. I mean, that man cannot spit out a word sideways. He is just like stumbling over his words and swallowing his words and choking on his words. It's painful to listen to him, is it not? Absolutely. He's crazy. He's about as crazy as they come. Everyone online was reading about how he entangled himself into Kylie attention at first, right? Yeah, and he just acted like he was just some nice guy that just cared so much, and he just came running to help. And then he made best friends with the family, and then they gave him the secret code for the gate and said, come on by anytime. And so he did. What? No, that's not real life. Come on. Wait. Mark Molina says, SF tweeted me that the Sammy Kylie photo was Kylie. And I asked how they knew Kylie bought gas. He never said how he knew that. That was 5 months. Don't trust. Yeah. So bizarre. So you guys, I just had this thought today. I am not kidding you. I never had this thought clearly before. I think I kind of had it like blurry before. But I wondered, when Jager made that video of Kylie on the pier, and he pretends to throw her in the water a couple of times, and she so cleverly pretends to kick him in the crotch. When he made that video, I wonder if he knew that her days were numbered. So I think I've kind of thought that here and there. Mostly I figured that they were already broken up and that he knew that there was going to be more distance between them. And that's why he made that video. But today I thought very clearly, like, what if he knew she was not going to be of this earth for very much longer? And that's why he made the video. And how long before her demise was that video made? For all we know, it was made the same day. For all we know, it was made hours before, right? I mean, it was pretty recent. I don't know. So if anybody has anything to say about that, I'm curious what you guys think. Kale said the other YouTubers were like, what the hell? Why is he in Florida and Northern California? Interesting. Yes. 1 year later. Right. Huh. Wow. Did not. Yeah. Don't trust, did not. Mark Molina, yeah. So he tweeted to you specifically, aren't you special? Ugh, he's so creepy. He is so creepy. Michael McAllister says, hey, everyone, I was just watching some old interview on the news that when Kylie's case first went missing and SF Investigates said that the subway CHP was setting up the crash of Kylie Mae Rodney. Wait, what? I gotta read that again. Yeah, Larissa, I agree. It makes me physically sick too. So Michael McAllister says, hey, everyone, I was just watching some old interview on the news that when Kylie's case first went missing and SF Investigates said that the subway, California Highway Patrol, was setting up the crash of Kylie Mae Rodney. Wow. Hey, Nico, thanks for being here, everybody and mods. So I have another question, and I feel like it's really appropriate to be kind of blurring these cases together. I'll tell you why. The Kylie Rodney case, the Gabby Petito case, and the Idaho 4 case. I don't know for a fact that any of them is connected to another at all. I seriously don't. But I'm wondering. But what I do find really fascinating, what is a common denominator for sure, is that all three of those cases are still in the news. Gabby Petito's case is in the news because it's going to be going to trial this summer. Kylie Rodney's case is in the news because SF Investigates is coming out of the woodwork. And as we all know, the Idaho 4 case is in the news. And you would think it wouldn't be. Wouldn't you think the Idaho 4 case with the gag order would be just like dormant until June? But yesterday, there were 700 pages of unsealed warrants. I haven't even watched any of those videos, you guys, and I don't know that I care to. It just seems like bogus bullcrap. I'm so curious what you guys think. Hey, Dana. I think he knew because he said, I knew I would need these videos or something to that effect. Exactly. Yeah, he says that it, like, as he's setting up his cell phone, it looks like he puts his cell phone on the ground and says something. I forget. It's been so long since I've seen it. I'll have to go back and rewatch. But man. And what if, Dana, what if that video was just made like the day before she went missing, or the week before, or a couple hours before? What if? It is also on Ryan Upchurch's number 3 at 1:36:13 timestamp. Ooh, interesting. I'll have to check that out. I'm not sure what is it, but I am going to write that down with my handy dandy notebook. Let's see, Upchurch number 3 and 13613. Thank you for that, Michael McAllister. I'll have to check that out. So Dana, what you saying crazy about? What cray? Please do share, elaborate. So yeah, you guys, I'm sick to death of the BS. I'm sick to death of the phonies. And I feel like we're getting a lot of fake news. It's my feeling that regular news is so threatened by social media and YouTube because it's making their platform extinct, right? It's replacing the news. And rather than going with the flow, like some of them do, like let's say in Florida, there's like a Channel 8 where they have that guy who's just like 24/7 doing basically like a live chat with everybody. I mean, he's amazing. I don't watch it a lot, but man, he is always on. And he is just running with the new platform and the old platform. But so many of these network people, they're old school. They don't want to change. So it's my feeling that they are trying to undermine YouTube and make a joke of it all so that people will quit watching and then they can just go back to their old Mary Tyler Moore style newscaster show. Not to knock Mary Tyler Moore, you guys. I love that show. Ed and Rhoda. That's where Rhoda got her start. Oh my goodness. And Rhoda's sister, who has had a soaring career with the sisters in The Simpsons ever since. That actress. I mean, Mary Tyler Moore was freaking amazing, wasn't she? Dick Van Dyke. Let's see. Yeah. If Jager knew that all this was planned, right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, just remember the whole thing when he went to Mexico and came back and he sent out a tweet or a text or something where he said, "Does this get me into the Truckee Mafia?" And we all thought that that was so tongue-in-cheek at the time. And now it's like, no, that is probably not at all tongue-in-cheek. I mean, he kind of said it jokingly, but it's one of those things, the truth to every joke, right? You are very welcome, and it is on Kylie's case number 3, Upchurch's video, and you're very welcome, sweetie and gentlemen. Awesome. Yeah, Upchurch. You guys, I got to say this about Upchurch, because I'm a huge Upchurch fan. Absolutely. Hands down. That guy's amazing. So he got involved in the Kylie Rodney case simply because he said this. He couldn't go to sleep at night because he was picturing Lindsay's contorted face in an interview when she was fake crying about her daughter. And he he fell for it, and it kept him up at night. And that was why he got involved in the case. So her fine acting skills, Lindsay's fine acting skills, really backfired because she got the sleuth of all sleuths with the spidey senses with 3 million subscribers all up into her business. Right? So that worked out well. That worked out very well. Did you guys know red rum solving in US, and it's been dropping over decades, is 50%, and that includes the clear-cut easy cases? So wait a second, Mark. Yeah, a lot of red rums go unsolved. So let me read that again. Did you guys know murder solving in the US, it's been dropping over the decades? It's 50%, and that includes the clear-cut easy cases. I don't know the stats, but I know that people have been getting away with unaliving for a long time. And especially when those people are the ones that are able to dictate the narrative. And then, kind of the assassins, that type of thing. There's so many movies and stories about that type of thing. Like remember Pulp Fiction? Kind of making cute of it, right? And just kind of normalizing it is awful. Um, oh, hey JB, thank you, Kale. That's the guy. You guys know who I'm talking about. Hey JB is the Channel 8 Florida newscaster that does his live chat. I mean, he's freaking phenomenal. Is that who you are referencing? Absolutely. Yeah, I think he's great. And he has that lawyer, the lawyer, that guy's on it a lot. Good show, Dark Shadows, 1966, but I am not that old. I'll write that one down. Dark Shadows, 1966. All right. Finally here, a one-way street and not so dumb blonde. Hello, hello, you guys. Maybe the mafia so he could go against the cartelling in Kylie's honor. Interesting, Stephanie. I'm not sure I know exactly what you mean, but if you want to clarify, but I kind of get it. Jager Maestro has to know why, what, when happened. He stayed at the lodge. He was close to Lindsay and Sammy. Well, and remember, he said that he was there at the party, and then he changed his story and said that he wasn't there, said he was fishing with his daddy, and his daddy said, yeah, he was fishing with me. And then he changed his story to that he was having his own graduation party. Very similar to Jack D in the Idaho 4 changing his story. At first he stayed home, and then he was at his parents'. And now we find out that that was him in the photograph at the corner club. And that photograph at the corner club, you guys, I did some research on that photograph from the screenshot of the, oh my goodness, and my battery saver just came on. Consider plugging in your device. I'm going to have to wrap up, you guys. I don't want it to die in the middle, and my plug is in the other room. I was afraid of that happening, but I just had to get started. I guess we'll just keep talking, and then when it dies, it dies. I apologize for that. Very bad planning. What was I saying about, oh, now my brain just totally got haywired. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Jager has to know why he stayed at the lodge. He was close to Lindsay and Sammy. Okay, I'm just going to stop trying. I'm going to stop trying to think because that totally unplugged my brain, just knowing that my computer might die in the middle of my live when I finally get on here. And I'm so happy that you guys are here. So let me just stay with it until the battery dies. All right. So yeah, he has to know why, what, when happened. He stayed at the lodge close to Lindsay and Sammy. Wasn't that the thought that I was on when that stupid notification came up? Yeah. So him staying with Lindsay. Oh, I remember what it was. Changing his story. Kate changed her story too. She said that she was at the party and that it was like Lord of the Flies. And then she changed to she wasn't at the party. And she also very suspiciously was not at the celebration of life, you guys. That is highly suspicious, is it not? And then allegedly she was living at the lodge with Jager Maestro. And hasn't she pretty much been out of the country ever since? I mean, these people, you guys, these people are some really dirty scoundrels, in my humble opinion, because our law enforcement is here to protect corporations, right? Absolutely, Dana. Rachel Smith, there's a silver alert for a Maple Falls, Washington woman, 67, Julia Montague Ayers, walking her dog on Friday near Peaceful Valley. Wow. Maple Falls, Washington. Are you sure it's not Maple Valley, Washington? Because I know Maple Valley is near Auburn. It's like the southeastern part of Seattle. I'm not familiar with Maple Falls, but Maple Valley. And I've never heard of Peaceful Valley. I'll have to check that out. Um, Love the lawyer, you know. Absolutely. Yeah, he's really good. And Dana agrees with Mark Molina. Good afternoon, Xena and Justice Warriors. Woohoo! We're all here and the battery is dying. Stephanie says she was referencing Jager Maestro. Yep. Wow. A one-way street picture at the corner club you were talking about. Oh, okay, thanks, Mark Molina and Dana. You guys are awesome. Get me back on track. The picture at the corner club. And okay, so it came out December 27th, right? That was when it hit the streets of YouTube. And then December 29th was when the information was released that it was verified that it was Jack D in the photo. But I didn't believe it. I didn't know who was verifying it. And I was just like, that just can't be. That just can't be that's him. I mean, a lot of guys wear ball caps and have beards and, you know, getting back to that whole thing of law enforcement saying that the girls were getting a lot of attention at the bar that night, a lot of attention because they're so pretty. It's like, well, yeah, I'm sure every single time they went to the bar, they got a lot of attention. But doesn't it seem like they were preemptively trying to eliminate the suspicion of the particular individuals that were giving attention to the girls at the bar that night by just saying, oh, yeah, everybody was giving them attention? It's like, well, who's everybody? I mean, this is a small town and a small bar. And we have a photograph of them, of a screenshot, or, yeah, a photograph of the surveillance film of them talking to Jack with maybe Jack Showalter right nearby, hoodie guy, and Adam by the door, and he was working. So, you know, he worked at the bar. And wasn't he Jack's roommate too? Was he still currently Jack's roommate? And then the guy who is, I think, 100% law enforcement, the man without a face, and possibly the police chief. And man, that whole thing is so bizarre. Like, why is that still shot not getting cleared up? Why is the termination letter not getting cleared up? Like, these are some really bizarre things, you guys. This is why I say I think this is all just a big psyops. I think all three of these cases have a lot of psyops. I mean, the whole thing with Brian Laundrie, like slipping away, and FBI saying, oh, they were confused. They thought that Roberta was Brian, and my goodness. And then they found a tooth. Oh, my brain. I just can't, you guys. I can't keep up with all the effery. You were saying that the photo of the still shot. So, yeah, the photo was released December 27th. And then it was determined to be Jack D December 29th. And then it's just evaporated because the criminal defendant got arrested on the 30th. And so everybody was all hyper about the photo until the criminal defendant was arrested, and then it's really never been readdressed, has it? It needs to be. It absolutely needs to be. Parents got her out of there, Mark Molina. Yes. And remember, Kate has an uncle, I think his name is David Cuno, who's a deputy for the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department. And remember how many kids that were at the alleged party? Was it at least 8 that had parents or family members that were law enforcement? We had Nate Wu. He was there. You can go get it and come back. We can wait for you. Well, I could, I guess. Ugh. But, you know, I probably shouldn't because I'll knock stuff over while I'm trying to do that because there's a very narrow passageway. Well, let me do it. Let me try. I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. So let's play some music, and hopefully I won't knock nothing over. If I do, then we'll live with that. I'm squeezing out of here. Okay. Gonna go grab that cable. Okay, I'm back, you guys. Let's see if this works. Let's see. Now, let's see. Which side is it? Is it this side? Da-da. Still with us? Okay, I got it plugged in. Now, can I get back into the chair without knocking everything over? Oh my goodness. Success. I did it. Yay. I didn't even like bump too much, right? You still. Oh, good idea. Kale, thank you. Okay. Oh, my head is like in a vice. Thanks, Kale. What a great idea. Okay. Hello, Xena Justice Warriors. Eating Chinese. Oh, Heavenly Clouds. Now we're all jealous. Some sweet and sour chicken with the pineapple in it. Sweet and sour pork. Remember that? That was like the classic Chinese food. Fred Field, Justice for Kylie. Dana, 100%. What Dana, 100%? Picture of the Corner Club. Yeah, that picture of the Corner Club, that really needs to be ironed out, you guys. Like, so I also want to know what Jack does for work, right? Because he said he didn't go out because he was tired from working, but he did go out, but maybe he didn't go with the girls to the grub truck, right? I just really wonder, you guys. I just really wonder how choreographed this whole thing was. It's crazy. And, just the whole thing with the first 12 hours evaporating and law enforcement making sure that another 4 hours was evaporated. So then they have 12 hours taken out of the mix. And once you have those 12 hours gone, you can't determine and decipher time of death and that kind of thing. You just can't. Goodness gracious. Okay. Low life MFers, in my humble opinion, boycott Truckee. And yeah, they got 8 feet of snow a couple of days ago. You guys have probably all heard about that, huh? It's not all Truckee. No, it's absolutely not all Truckee. Truckee is just one example of it. And a fine example at that. I mean, just the location and the history of Donner, the Donner Party, Donner Pass, Donner Lake. Yeah. And Whatcom County by Mount Baker, not the Seattle area. Thank you, Rachel Smith. Good to know. Whatcom County by Mount Baker. Yeah, that's like south. That's closer to the Oregon state line. Huh. Let support for T-Rev. He's going through unnecessary YouTube craziness real life. Yeah, I saw that. Charlotte left true crime. In Kylie's case, interesting that her porch was set on fire, allegedly. Oh my goodness, you guys. Freaky. Yeah, I saw the post that T-Rev made about getting threatened and that he had contacted law enforcement. And I was really grateful that he shared that information. Yeah, people need to know. And then when you say Charlotte, are you talking about Charlotte Truth Seeker? And that's so creepy. You have to remember too, Squirrel Girl, she left her channel. Cece abandoned her channel for a while. She came back. Same with Mountain Girl 212. This is some crazy ass crap. Fred Field says, not me. There is a recruiter that works for Extreme Networks there around those colleges that you could deep dive. Oh no, his name is Elijah Shoup. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Apparently his family established Idaho. What? Where'd my pen go? My pen! Just all kinds of mayhem. I've never heard of this character, you guys. Elijah Shoup, have you heard of that? Let's see. And that's a recruiter for Extreme Networks. Wow. What kind of scam are they running? Heavenly Cloud says, I will watch Caleb Lee. Where'd we go? Let me highlight that one. Thank you, Dana, for that comment. Wow. I couldn't believe Southern Logic gave his exact location to his home. My mouth dropped open. Wow, that's nuts. Maybe it's a trap. Maybe he's hoping that they'll come. Whoa. Wow. I didn't catch that one. Hello, everybody. So in the food truck video, Jack says he was there to make sure the girls got home safe, and the caller on T-Rev show said that all the kids knew that something was about to happen. It wasn't so far. Yeah, I that's what I think. I don't know who this caller was on T-Rev. I don't know if this is Kim again or somebody like Kim, but that's the feeling I'm getting. I'm getting the feeling that everybody knew this was going to happen. And then it did. And then remember a couple days ago, I was saying that the outdoor surveillance tape with the audio of somebody screaming and the dog barking, and Joseph Morris's channel played it and then got blacklisted, saying that he invented that he created that tape. And I just a couple days ago, I said, what if he didn't create that tape? What if that tape was real, but he released it? And so they just had to, make his name mud to try to cover that up. Not good at some abbreviations. I think she was taken by the card that tells or trafficked. Sue D, are you talking about Kylie Rodney? Chicago area. Brian Laundrie's uncle was a sheriff in nearby county. Nothing sus. That tidbit of info. Yeah. And also he had an uncle who was a dentist, I thought. What do you mean home location, Heavenly? And so you're talking about Southern Logic. They were supposed to get roughed up, not taken out. And again, the same story that Maddie and Kaylee were running their mouth too much. Wow. Heart Like a Truck song by Lane Wilson or any Alana Morissette. Music of choice. Kelly Reeves, Jack D. Let's see. Laptop keys keep sticking. Sorry, we'll try to correct before entering. I don't hear music. He lives in Alabama, I think. Anyway, he said the highway to go on, and when you hit the exit, go right there is my house. Weird. Why would he do that? like I said, unless it's a trap because he wants people, uh, he's, wow, that is wild. Um, Heavenly, I'm not saying much, but it's not wise to actually stalk people like T Rev. Yeah, stalkers are crazy, and there's so many of them, you guys. We all have to be so careful. Caleb Lee, what on earth is going on with T Rev and Charlotte? So yeah, T Rev put up a post about somebody who's been harassing him, and he went to the law enforcement. The fact that T Rev is getting harassed means he's putting out valid information and that the other people don't want out. Right. Right. I mean, you're only going to get trolled when people are afraid of what you're saying. And if you're just talking smack, they're not going to really care. T Rev 757 community post, and Charlotte bid her farewell. Oh man, I missed the part with Charlotte. I did not see her farewell. I saw Mountain Girls farewell months ago, but like I said, I know she's come back on in the last several months. Um, Caleb Lee, I just looked. He took it down. Hopefully he'll be okay. Interesting. Oh, are you talking about Southern Logic took it down? I was thinking you were talking about T-Rev for a second. Wow. Crazy. This Elijah person recruited Kaylee, and when I looked up their IG accounts, him and his coworkers have their handles starting and ending with an X like somebody else. Oh, like Xaname? Dina? Wow. That is wild. I wrote down the title and I don't see it. He is just a sweet guy. It's up north under the border by Kendall, real rural. Eli is very suspicious eye. Huh. Um Hi everyone, and hi, I'm here now, everyone. I thought you were here before, Michael. Are there two of you? Um Brian uncle is a dentist. Yes. But is there another uncle who is law enforcement? See, I think his mother worked with law enforcement in Long Island. Like she worked with the government or something like that. And that was how they had a lot of the connections that they had that helped them through that crazy time and hopefully won't be helping them much longer. The new caller is not Kim, but everyone knew Kaylee and Maddie were talking too much. Frats all knew. Right. And then you had the fight that Ethan was in supposedly at the frat house, right? So what's up with that? What is up with that? Absolutely nuts, huh? Oh, there was no music. You said play music. Oh, that's funny. Mark, take me literal. Remember, I speak in metaphor. Yeah, I know. I've thought about that. I thought it would be cool to have some background music in my show, and especially when I have to go wander off and look for a freaking chord. But at least we're plugged in now. We're at 43 minutes. We'll go on for at least an hour since we had to fight so hard to get here, right? Goodness gracious. Good afternoon. Made it to the live. Yeah, you are here, Mike. Mike Kibler. And I am looking at Upchurch's video. Third one is 14 minutes long, no 1 hour. Oh, thanks, Kale. So, yeah, Upchurch video number 3, 1 hour, 36 minutes and 13 seconds. Was that the third of maybe, there wasn't a Red Flag Ronnie number 3, was there? There was just Red Flag Ronnie 1 and 2. And so I'm not sure if there might be some other third video that was being referred to. Maybe Southern Logic will be there on his front porch, locked and loaded. Surprise. Exactly. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. If he's like, come on, make my day. Charlotte stuff is still up. Okay, good. How is your day going so far, Heavenly Clouds? Our 22 cents is gone as well, exactly. And supposedly we'll be back again next week. Oh, well, that's exciting. I know I keep looking for him to be coming back. Wow. Michael McAllister, it is real good so far. Eating sweet and sour chicken and some thin noodle thing. LOL. You need to stop with that, Heavenly Clouds. You're making me so jealous. And the name was dropped in a channel or two that I was watching yesterday. So I was just looking him up. Are you talking about that Elijah Shoop? That is wild. Wild, wild, wild. Wild, wild west. Has anyone ever heard of a guy named RT? And he was telling me about how a lot of college students go missing at the borders. What? Michael McAllister, what you talking about? I was a recruiter. Why I asked. Long life as a recruiter. I took the name down. Enough needed. Got it, Dana. I gotten death threatened a couple months ago and blocked and reported them. Craziness, craziness. I wonder about Dylan's boyfriend. He never came over to King Road. Heavenly Clouds, the story is that he never stepped foot into Moscow, right? That's the story. Everyone knows RT. Really? Everyone knows RT? You guys have me baffled. My gosh, that is horrible. I'm really good, and I am still a little bit sick from COVID-19. Still Heavenly Clouds, God bless you too. Who is RT? That's what I was wondering. Like I said, my brain is just perplexed, you guys. Um, who's RT? Anybody want to share? Anybody who knows? Isn't RT from Truckee? Too many alphabets. I love that. Too many alphabets. That was cute. That was too funny. I knew he was on CCTV. Huh. Right turn. Thank you, Heavenly Clouds, and you have to be really careful with the Kylie case. It's really creepy, you guys. I mean, we know that case stinks to high heaven. I mean, that's totally insane. Nothing is kosher about it. I remember seeing a poster with the letters RT. You guys, you're messing with my head. Okay. So the Extreme Network Security LLC, security system installer in Austin, Texas, wireless network infrastructure. That's what Extreme Networks is. I got that off the interweb. You want me to read that again? Extreme Network Security LLC, security system installer in Austin, Texas, wireless network infrastructure. And then isn't their base in Australia? Aren't they an Australian company? Thank you, Heavenly Clouds. Yes, I remember seeing. Okay, I already read all these, you guys. Isn't it kind of an umbrella company as well, though? I don't know, Dina. Is it? Does anybody know? It actually didn't sound to me like it was that big of a company. I mean, I'm sure that it does a lot, but if you guys are familiar with LexisNexis, like that's a company that a lot of people think is really, really big, and it's really not that big. It is a sizable company, and it's got a global presence, but there's not that many people that work there. And that's usually how those companies are. Like in San Francisco, there were a lot of them. I remember Oracle was one. RT stands Truckian. That's funny. Thanks, Caleb. Michael McAllister, my son who works for Department of Defense, asked me not to talk on phone anymore about anything to do with any county and ours and politics and things going on. Wow. Weird. That is wild. So you guys, should we talk about the Bohemian Grove? We were Annie Ruler and Annie Potts were talking about Brent Kopaka and his coordinates, and maybe he had some affiliation with Bohemian Grove. And I want to clear up some confusion because Bohemian Grove is just southwest of Santa Rosa, and the Muir Woods is much, much further south. It's like closer to Mill Valley, right? So, and I work at a psychiatric facility there in Mill Valley. It was called Ross Psychiatric Hospital. It was actually on Sir Francis Drake Boulevard and technically Field, California, but all that area kind of blends together. Mill Valley, Ross. Bolinas. Bolinas is a really funky little town out there on the beach. A really neat little town. But yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on out there, you guys. There's definitely a lot of these groups like what Lindsay and Sunshine Fowler were part of. There's a lot of that going on out there. And then, so Annie Ruler said that Brent Kopaka posted his coordinates and that the coordinates were close to or in the Muir Woods or somewhere near there, somewhere near the Bohemian Grove. I mean, I've looked up the Bohemian Grove a few times on the internet, and it is pretty wild what you find. You guys should check that out. Okay, Heavenly Cloud says, I mean country. So let me read that again. My son, who works for the Department of Defense, asked me not to talk on phone anymore about anything to do with any country and ours, including politics and things going on. Wild. I believe it. Welcome back, Dilly. Get well soon. Oh man, here we go. Charlotte Green sent me a notification the other day, and I know that they are definitely still here. And that's Scary Heavenly Clouds. The guy that made the Crow Report is a U of I grad and realtor from Blue Sky Sage. Yeah, that Blue Sky Realty, that's a weird thing, Rachel. Things are getting worse all over the world. Ours is really bad. Oh my God, that is why the news, it is not talking about the border stuff, Heavenly Clouds. So you guys, you know what really spikes my curiosity is the cartel writing a letter of apology about offing those people that they kidnapped from South Carolina. A letter of apology? Have you ever heard of such a thing? From a car that tells or doesn't tell? That is just weird. That is just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. So, you guys, I'm thinking we should go ahead and wrap up. And hoping for answers says Carter, cars that do not tell. Message retracted. Sorry. Or how about U.S. offering $50,000 for the return of the people? Yeah. Just craziness. Absolute craziness. I'm really sorry that it is on with Wisconsin Madman channel and was showing Ryan Upchurch's video, and I'm really sorry for that, everyone. Okay, so Michael McAllister is saying that timestamp that he had been referring to, the video number 3, the 1 hour, 36 minutes, 13 seconds, is actually not an Upchurch video, but a Wisconsin Comendans. I'm not sure if that's a typo. The Wisconsin Man or something like that channel. That was to get the ones they don't care about out. Deep Thought says, I agree justice 100% and agree with things being wackadoodle. They don't apologize, right? Right. Sorry, not sorry. Can we be fully honest? Those 4 Americans may be doing something they shouldn't have, right? Absolutely. And it's Mexico, you guys. Mexico has been like that always. It's just that we haven't had the internet and YouTube true crime always. But weird things have happened in Mexico historically. It's like buyer beware, go at your own risk. It's crazy down there. It's absolutely crazy. The truth of January 6th, was there a guy on each side of me talking about making sure they were going to be there at the Capitol dressed in black and pulled out the red hat? Whew, cray cray, big time cray cray. Madman, that's the name of the channel. Gotcha. Finally, at 63, I watched Lord of the Flies. It was not gory. It was great. Well, good for you, Dilly Owens. I'm never going to watch it. Just kidding. I'm imagining that it's a lot like Taps. You guys remember Taps? That was like Tom Cruise's first movie when he was just 17 years old. Who else was in that? It was Emilio Estevez and... a couple other, you guys remember that movie Taps? So I think it was supposed to be a lot like Lord of the Flies. It was like a kind of like a boarding school where all the grown-ups disappeared. Sean Penn, I think, was in it. Let's see. Caleb Play Murdoch was connected to the cowboy gang from South Carolina and distributions. Yeah, that whole thing. Hopefully him getting sentenced will have a good ripple effect, right? That is so messed up situation, Heavenly Clouds. I don't know where the wordplay came from. Can we talk about this theory that M and K were intended to be roughed up? Why would a couple of college girls would be considered such a huge threat, running their mouths to whom? It's a good question, Kelly. Very good question. Why would they be? Why would they be a huge threat? Well, they were perhaps a very lucrative resource for the university or for the sororities, and then they were disconnecting themselves from that. So that could be one reason, that financially they were hitting them where it hurts, right? The innocent people are still locked up. They are treated badly, and they're interesting. Squirrelberger, it's more like Stand By Me. Oh, that was a great movie. Stand By Me. I love that movie. River Phoenix. Yeah. Excellent movie. And he was just a little kid in that movie. It was one of his very first. That is what I heard also. Kaylee was against. Well, who wouldn't be against it, Heavenly Clouds? Isn't everybody against it? I mean, of course, somebody like SF is for it, all for it. Somebody like Jager Maestro is all for it. Sammy, I mean, all these bad guys are all for it, in my opinion. If that house had hidden cameras and the landlord, the university were on it, the law enforcement would cover it up. Well, and people have really wondered about the HVAC going in there. Right, the ones profiting off of it are all for it, right? And then the Tony Dodges are all for it. Ew, gross. That's what I was watching and wondering about the innocent people. Let's see. Is that the Stand By Me movie? In on it, no on it. In on it, no on it. Kale, little smarty. What you talking about? Um, Heavenly Clouds. The traffickers are for it. Yeah, in on it and on it. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, all those people are really, I mean, they're ill. They're absolutely disgusting and sickening. They said Chief Fry knows the owner of 1122 and is covering for them. And is they the person that called the T Rev show, you guys, Heather? Did you say there was no proof Nathan is Kaylee's uncle or that he is not her uncle? I don't know. I tried Googling that and I saw nothing that indicated that there was any connection online from my searches. MF puppies. And if anybody else wants to jump in, if anybody has any knowledge or information about that. So Nathan Gonzalez is the person that was arrested and is in jail in Washington State. And it wasn't for unaliving. What I found was for possession or maybe distribution of meth, I think. Not on it. Rachel's comment you read it again. Well, I don't want to go back. If I go back, that just messes everything up. Makes sense, Heather. Zoomed in on a tattoo on Tony Neiman back of his left leg of the Knights Templars Mason signs. Oh, that's creepy AF, Michael. The callers have all said that. Okay. Um, he is, from what I can see. Oh, Nathan, you're saying that Nathan is Kaylee's uncle? Where did you see that? Because I mean, all I did was Google and Googled everything that I could think of, and wasn't able to find any connection. So I'm super curious if you can share. So, as I sign off, I'm going to wrap it up, you guys. We're just barely over an hour, and I'm just so glad to get on here. I'm so happy for you guys to all be here. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I hope that things get going for a very productive work week and getting ready for the work week. That's usually what most of us do on Sunday nights. Hopefully you don't need to run to the grocery store because everybody and their uncle is there, right? I had several pieces of info. Do you want them? Sure, if you want to email them. Kale, could you drop my email in the chat? You probably have it. It's justice, ATOOZ, at gmail.com. Glad to see you on a Sunday, and also everyone in chat. Rachel Smith, if that house has hidden cameras and the landlord and the university were in on it, the cops would cover it up. Yeah, they'd have to, or a whole bunch of heads would roll. I mean, yeah, there'd be major prison time going on for some heavy hitters, some high rollers. And the heavy hitters and the rollers are not the ones that get punished. You know, it's the scapegoats. It's the low man on the totem pole. They don't do that at all. I believe it's the feds or the CIA. Oh, my brain. When you start talking like that, Michael McAllister, it reminds me of a scene from the Talking Heads movie. Have you guys seen, what is it called? True Stories. Have you seen True Stories? David Byrne wrote that movie to go with the album True Stories. And it is literally a true story about the microchip being born in a town called Virgil, Texas. If you guys haven't seen True Stories, you have to see that movie. It is an amazing movie in every way, shape, and form. But FBI, CIA, yeah, that's what that makes me think of when you put all of them letters together. That is one of the greatest movies ever made, in my humble opinion. And it is a true story about where the microchip was born in Virgil, Texas. So we can Google and find out how far Virgil is from Austin. So yes, thank you so much for being here. Have a fabulous rest of your Sunday and weekend. Thank you, Kale, for dropping the email. Wizcomadman. That's a funny name. Wizcomad Madman. Wizco Madman. There we go. Channel, and it is a Ryan Upchurch video. LOL. Okay, perfect, Michael. Thank you for that. I'll check that out as we're wrapping up. So hit the like button on your way out if you'd be so kind. And again, I will beg of you to subscribe and share if you feel so moved. Bye, everyone. Have a great day. My son came home. Got to run. Love you all. Sending you light, sending you love. Have a fabulous rest of your weekend. And we will see you tomorrow morning, hopefully 9:30. Everything will be smooth, right? All right. Thanks again, you guys. You're the best.